Hey, out there in Facebook land, how you guys doing today? This is Gail Gentry, your online marketing professional, helping you fire your boss and control your time in your online business. And thank you for joining me today. I am here to talk about a book review, continues on the Science of Getting Rich. Today, we're going to talk about Chapter 4. I am so happy that Facebook is building out my audience. And as it does so, please let me know where you're live and in from. And if you've seen me before on the broadcast, type in the word vet. If you're new to the broadcast, type in the number 1, because I definitely want to circle back to you after the broadcast is over with to engage with you and to share any further thoughts on this topic. You can get a free download of this book at my Facebook group called My Own Boss Freedom Tribe, which is right here at www.facebook.com/groups/ My Own Boss Freedom Tribe. So I'm following the tenets of my $1 million mentor, Mr. Robert Hollis. He is the one that said, hey, Gail, you know what? You need to read this book. You need to read it right now. And then once you read the book, you need to share it with other folks. You need to do a book review of the book to give other folks give other folks information with regard to the book, The Science of Getting Rich. Here is the book, Science of Getting Rich. It is written by Wallace D. Wattles, and it was originally written in 1909. So it's a little bit old. Hey, how you doing out there? And, this book is actually is the basis of the movie, The Secret, the movie and the book, The Secret. Hey, Zach, how you doing? Hey, Errol, how you doing? Thank you for joining me. It is also part of, the tenet or the basis for the book, Think and Grow Rich. So my millionaire mentor, Mr. Robert Hollis, documented millionaire, has helped generate 51 millionaires. And Zach Shahid, my online mentor, has said, he's going to be number 52. And I'm claiming spot number 53. And it's all because we are thinking and acting in a certain way as a result of this book, The Science of Getting Rich. So let me just jump right into it. Chapter 4 is the first principle in the science of getting rich. And the first principle is that thoughts are things. And we touched on this a little bit yesterday, but thoughts are things. So things that that you're thinking about, there's one, according to this book, there is one form of substance that is, hey, Victor, how you doing? That is the creator of all things. Hey, Pandra, how you doing? Is the creator of all things. So when you think about something, it becomes reality, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. So the good news is, if you can think of a bunch of bad stuff to come up in your life, you can think of a bunch of good stuff to come up in your life. Okay. That's the good news. Okay. So when a person, thinks of something like, their dream home, or not even their dream home, the home that they want to have or the home that they want to build, it has to start with a thought first. And once that thought is put out into the universe, all the forces in the universe will work toward bringing that to a reality. Now, will it just materialize out of nothing? No. Obviously you have to do the work of the vision, right? But you have to have a vision before it becomes reality. And the good news about this formless substance is that it never runs out. It never runs out. The book talks about, that, this could be a great theory. It says, this could be a great theory in the fact that, it only doesn't make sense if the thing fails. It says here, the theory is true until the process fails, and this process will not fail. For every man who does exactly what this book tells him to do will get rich. Now, I know a lot of you probably out there thinking, you know what, that's a little far-fetched. That's a little hard for me to believe. Hey, Chintua, how you doing? And if you're feeling that way, if you're feeling, hey, Angela, how you doing? If you're feeling this a little far-fetched, it's hard for you to believe, type in the number 2. If you think this is a little beyond you, type in the number 2. And let's see who's, having some challenges with believing this. Now, let me ask you this question. If that is true, if the tenets of this book seem a little far-fetched, geez, all I got to do is think about it and it will materialize. If all I think about is good, and it will materialize. If all I think about, is what I can do to get wealth, by helping other people, helping myself, helping the world, as, some of the great leaders, in our space, in the home business space, online business space, they say it over and over and over again, that us playing small does not help the world. Now, we should play to our fullest potential. and it starts with our thoughts. It starts in our brain, in our cabeza. I'm from Los Angeles, so, we have Spanish here. In our cabeza, it starts right here, okay? So, the book says, unless, this fails for one person, then that means that the process isn't true. But we've seen it happen over and over and over again. And let me just say, hey, Priceless Pause, how you doing? Let me also say that, when you're thinking of, it's hard for us to accept, based on our training, based on how we've been reared, based on how we've been socialized. A lot of us have been socialized with negative thoughts like money doesn't grow on trees. What do you think I am, a money machine? Oh, I don't deserve to be wealthy, or, oh, I don't need to be rich. I just want to be comfortable. All of those limiting beliefs, right? And those those limiting, hey, Richard, how you doing? Those limiting beliefs over time start to take hold. And guess what? You're thinking all these negative things all the time and not even realizing it. On the one breath you say, hey, I want to be well-to-do. I want to be rich. I want to be wealthy. And the next breath, oh, I don't think I could do that. Oh, that's really not going to happen for me. So you've just, put doubt, as my mentor, Robert Hollis, says, what thought of doubt will take you out. I'm paraphrasing. He actually says something else. But a thought of doubt will take you out. Once that doubt thought comes in, all that great stuff that you were thinking about pretty much takes you out. So that's what this chapter is talking about, and here's a couple of things that it says. To look upon the appearance of disease. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me start here. To think truth regardless of appearance is laborious and requires the expenditure of much power than any other work man is called upon to perform. So what that means is that, you have to think about what the truth is. The truth is that you have a healthy body. Yet you may be dwelling on, I'm sick, I don't feel well. The truth is that you have a healthy body, right? So when we dwell on the appearance instead of what really is the truth behind it, guess what? It just keeps manifesting the same thing that we put our mind on, right? So to look upon appearance of disease will produce a form of disease in your mind and ultimately in your body, unless you hold the thought of truth, which is there is no disease. It is only appearance and the reality is health. I go back to my Star Trek days, with Mr. Spock, and he'd give you the Vulcan mind meld, right? You go, this is a fallacy. This isn't true, and all that stuff. When Jim Kirk, was having some sort of thing going on, and he was like, in some sort of altered reality. And Mr. Spock came with the Vulcan mind meld, and these thoughts are untruths. This is not real, So this is the same thing the book is talking about. These thoughts are not true. They are unreal. And to think, and the Bible talks about that too. The Bible says, hope is the things not seen. Hope is the things to come into the future. I'm paraphrasing, of course, because I don't know the exact quote, but basically hope is about seeing something that's not there, envisioning something that is not there right here, right now. But guess what? If you really think about it, what you were thinking about 10 years ago, what your life would be, is that the reality now? If you feel me, type in the number 1 or 2, type in the number 3. If what you were thinking about, 3 years ago, or, what your life would be like 3 years ago, when you look at it, those thoughts and actions that you took 3 or 4 years ago actually put you in the place where you are now, right? No one else put you there. You put you there, right? Because that's a lot of things. Oh, it's because of this, it's because of that. No, not at all. It's because of your own thoughts, of your own, actions. So the book talks about that we have to accept, we have to think, based on the reality that we want in our life, which is that you are wealthy, which is that you are healthy, which is that you are rich, right? And if you hold that in your mind, thinking in a certain way, guess what? It will materialize itself. Now, will it happen next week, tomorrow, next month? Who knows? Maybe not, but certainly, a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, you will definitely be in a different place. It says this power can only be acquired by getting hold of the basic fact which is behind all appearances, and that fact is that there is one thinking substance, form which and by which all things are made. So type in the comment stream, thinking substance. Type in the comment stream, thinking substance. If you're feeling me, if you're getting value out of this, please feel free to share this out with other people. Folks, need to know that they are really creating their own reality, and it's not someone else creating the reality for you. It's so easy to blame politicians. It's so easy to blame the man, so to speak. It's so easy to blame, your employer. It's so easy to blame all these other forces when in fact we're the ones putting ourselves where we are. It's not someone else. But the good news is that you don't have to stay there. You can change. You can turn this around by beginning to think and act in a certain way. And here are the 3 tenets that the book says that this is the first principle. There is thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces a thing that is imagined by the mind. Man can form things in his thoughts, and by impressing his thoughts upon formless substance can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. So this is the good news. Only thing you have to do is hold in your mind that thought, that reality that you want to have, that it is happening for you right now, whether it physically is or not. So if you imagine yourself in your dream home in Manhattan Beach, California, and your dream home Laguna Beach, or your dream home in Rochester, New York, wherever your dream home is, for instance, and you hold that in your mind to be true, the forces of the universe will go to work to begin to have that happen, because it starts with thought. It starts with thought substance. Next thing you know, oh my God, you run into an architect, that has a plan that you're looking for. You see the exact house that you want in a travel and leisure magazine, or a house magazine or something like that, and then, forces begin to take shape, forces begin to take place that will drive you to that house. That is, if you truly believe it. You have to believe it with all of your heart, without doubt. So no doubt, type in the comment stream, no doubt. No doubt is how this will be brought about, is no doubt. So, and I just, say over and over and over again, if you've been thinking, and I know I've been guilty of this, thinking, oh, I want this, I want that. But then the next breath, is that really going to happen for me? How's that going to happen for me? How can I do that? All of these kinds of, negative thoughts, that we call reality, right? That's what we call negative thoughts. We call it reality. When in fact it's a negative thought, right? It's not a thought that we're actually going to produce what we want to produce. That hey, Felicity, how you doing? That things are not going to turn out the quote unquote the way that we want them to turn out. And that's because we don't hold on to that thought with everything we have, with the true belief that, hey, this is happening for me. Like the thought I have right now is, I will produce $10,000 of income this month. I hold that thought to be true. And what am I willing to do to have that come about? In the book, Think and Grow Rich, it says, what are you willing to do? Hey, Johnny Gray, how you doing? In order for that to come about, what actions am I going to take, with that thought in mind, with that reality in mind, for that to actually materialize in my life. So there it is, you guys. This is the chapter. The chapter Science of Getting Rich is the name of the book. Chapter 4, the first principle in the Science of Getting Rich is to think in a certain way, and with full thought, with full belief that in fact what you're thinking is in fact the truth, right? And and some of you guys may be thinking, well, that sounds a bit hokey. It's like, okay, Gail, whatever. But the reality is those great businessmen over the years, and even great spiritualists like Mother Teresa, she wanted to rid poverty in Calcutta and provide comfort for those in poverty in Calcutta, India. Now, did she end poverty? Did poverty end? No, India is still a very impoverished country. However, she uplifted the spiritual lives of folks in that town where she was at. Henry Ford wanted to have a car in everyone's garage. Today, we have a car. Pretty much everybody has a car in their garage. And these were thoughts that these people thought about. And at the time that Henry Ford was making cars, the assembly line was produced. It was only extremely rich people could afford a car because they were all made by hand. They were made individually. They weren't made, on an assembly line, which we know today. And, you can mass produce vehicles. They weren't mass produced in his day. And so that was a serious forward thinking idea for him. Thomas Edison with the light bulb. You know, imagine if we didn't have the light bulb, all of us would be going to bed about 6 o'clock at night. In the wintertime, we'd be going to bed about 4 o'clock at night, okay? Because we wouldn't have light. And he said, hey, you know what? I want to brighten the world. And as a result, you know, the world has changed dramatically just by the invention of the light bulb. But all of those started with thoughts. They did not just come out of nowhere. They started with a thought in their brains, these inventors' brains, these, you know, social progressives' brains. And then, you know, they became reality because they believed that it would happen. So type in the comment stream, believe, I believe, I believe in the comment stream. And again, feel free to share this out. And I just want to share with you guys, you can get a copy of this book. You can download The Science of Getting Rich by joining my group at my own Boss Freedom Tribe right here on Facebook at www.facebook.com/groups/ my own Boss Freedom Tribe. If someone would type that in the comments, that'd be great. www.facebook.com/groups/ my own Freedom Tribe. And when you get to the group, go ahead and join the group and become a member of the group. And then in the file section, you will see your free gifts. Your free gifts include a number of different things, including a downloadable copy of this book. So you can read along and you can see for yourself. I mean, don't believe what I'm telling you. Read it for yourself. You know, like the Bible says, you know, read for yourself to find your own self approved. Okay. And you can do that with this book this very day. So I appreciate you guys joining me today. Thank you so much. Again, join the group at my own Boss Freedom Tribe. If someone would, you know, type in the comment stream the address, that'd be great. It's at www.facebook.com/groups/ my own Boss Freedom Tribe. And you can download this book for yourself. So that's all I got today. Again, thank you guys for joining me. As I say at the end of all of these, go out there, be good to yourself, be good to somebody else. Go out there and help somebody today. Guess what? You can't keep it unless you give it away. So give it away. Have a great day. Bye.